What does it mean to be gay? Where do we come from? Why now? What's our purpose? What's our future? What is our function? How do we activate our power? Hello friends, Angelo here from Big Gay Family Social Program with another tutorial. This tutorial is about 6 stages for long-term gay relationships. We're gonna get technical, but we're gonna do this in a very cool way. I'm gonna teach you how to look at relationships more strategically and how to identify blind zones, places where you can't see what's going on. This tutorial is going to blow your mind. So let's get started. So we're discussing 6 stages for committed gay relationships, and this is the structure for long-term relationships. If you want relationships, they're not gonna happen all at once. You're gonna go through stages. So there are 6 of them. The readiness stage, then meeting the person, then connecting with him, then you're gonna date and become familiar with each other, then you're gonna work on trust, and then commitment. And commitment then leads to marriage, this leads to monogamy, this leads to all the good things that people want. So in order for you to create a long-term committed relationship, you will have to go through these 6 stages with each and every single person. And so it would help to understand what happens in each of these stages and which of these stages are the ones that are most challenging. And there are 3 of them. I'm going to share with you which they are in a moment. Okay, so let's connect them together. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to meet somebody and you're going to have to figure out, are you ready? Is he ready? Then you're going to meet, you're going to connect, you're going to date, you're going to trust, and then you're going to commit. So that's how it's going to flow. So this is the diagram for every single situation with every person for the rest of your life. If you want love and relationships, even friendships, this is the pathway to get there. And there are 3 places here in the yellow circles that are the most challenging places. So it's very easy to meet somebody. It's very easy to date people. It's actually quite easy to commit once you have those other 3 taken care of. So for example, if you're not ready for relationships, or if you're not meeting people that are ready for relationships, which is the same thing, then it doesn't matter who you meet, because you're not going to be able to connect, you're not going to be able to trust, you're not going to be able to commit. So at the beginning, when you are asking yourself, am I ready for relationships? We need to ask the question, are you ready for commitment? Are you ready to connect? Are you ready to trust? Are you ready to spend time with someone? Or is it going to be just a hit and run? And so, of course, you're going to have to also ask the question of the other person. The people that you're meeting, are you going to be meeting people that are ready for love and relationships? And what does that mean? And so once you discover what that means, then guess what happens? You're going to go to very different places to meet people. And so that's why these stages are so important. If you're not going to ask yourself what does it mean to be ready for relationships, then you're not going to care about where you go meet people. And then you're going to keep telling yourself, oh, relationships don't work. Oh, it doesn't work. It will never work. Well, of course, it's not going to ever work if you go to the wrong places to meet people because you've never asked yourself what does it mean to be ready for relationships. And there's a certain mental health component to that. Not everyone is ready for relationships. I'm sure you know that by now, don't you? You should know that not everyone is ready for relationships at this time. Most people are not. Most people hang out on Grindr. So first you ask the question, am I ready? If you're ready, then okay, how do I meet other people who are ready? And so now I hope that you see why I am so big on on the program here, Big A Family Social Program, because here everybody's ready. At least we have that taken care of. And so now you meet people in the right place where there are people who are ready. And a lot of those places are going to be usually churches, spiritual places, educational places, universities, yoga places. It's important that you look at these stages very strategically, because you're not going to be able to just enter into relationships with this spontaneity. There are all kinds of psychological things that are going to be happening that you need to know ahead of time, so that you go to the places where you're going to meet the guys that have the capacity to do the things that are in the yellow circles, which is to connect and to trust. So not everybody is ready, and also not everybody is psychologically capable of the connection. And this is where understanding of narcissism is really, really crucial. If you don't understand narcissism, you're not going to understand that certain people, no matter what, they might have amazing penises, amazing sex, but no matter how much you try, they can't connect. And that's going to set into motion trauma if you don't understand this. Because you're going to be ready, then you're going to assume he's ready. But if you don't understand that it takes a psychological connection for you to have a relationship, you're going to be not paying attention to the qualities of the person's behavior that are required for the connection to take place. And so narcissistic behaviors can't be there. A person has to be able to be emotionally available. That's a big deal. Not everyone is emotionally available. In fact, a huge portion of the men out there, both straight and gay, they're not emotionally available. You need to know how to tell who's emotionally available. And then you go into dating, and then dating is easy because then emotion brings you together. You see, a lot of times dating sucks because you're not meeting people that are ready, and you're not meeting people that have the glue, that have the attachment and the psychology of the attachment inside of their psychic properly put together. They don't have that. So you need to know how to spot for that, how to look for that, whether the person is willing to open up the heart and say loving things to you and receive loving things from you. Because if he can't do that, he's going to exaggerate sex. And then you're going to be going into totally different stages of humiliation, of shaming, devaluation. You don't want to go there. The connection stage has no sex there yet. Sex happens when you're dating. In the connection stage, it's not about sex. It's about the psychology of the connection. It's about emotion. And so you got to meet people that have the capacity for emotion. And then we go into dating, and that is a strategic process where you do certain kind of things that bring you together. Once you have the connection, it's a lot easier to date. If you don't have the connection, then you have to beg for love, you have to beg for emotions, and then everybody hates that. And then people stood each other up because there's no feeling of desire. So that's why you have to be with emotionally available men. You need to know what that's like. And then you're dating, and then once you're dating for a few weeks, then there will be moments when there will be conflicts. There'll be moments when you're gonna not like each other as much as you thought. There'll be moments when you're gonna test each other with your emotional drama. That's the trust. That's the third circle, the yellow circle. It's gonna get pretty intense. And let me ask you this: how many people are comfortable with conflicts? Not everyone is comfortable with conflicts. A lot of people are passive aggressive. Can you develop trust with someone who's passive aggressive? I don't know. I don't think so. Because it's going to get too complicated. Your heart and your mind need to come together. The trust has to happen. And so the trust requires a certain kind of person as well. Just like for the connection stage, it's about emotions. Openness about emotions. But some people, even though they have that openness of emotions, they are very afraid of conflict. And they will sabotage everything. They will walk away from everything when there is the anticipation of the heat rising, the conflict happening. They're scared of conflict. Haven't you noticed that? So now, are you seeing where I'm going with all of this? I'm showing you that when you go back to the very first stage about being ready, you need to ask yourself also, are you okay with conflict? Are you okay with emotional activation of your heart, emotional, loving, kind things, receiving and sharing? Are you comfortable with saying I love you, or I want you to be my lover, I want you to be my boyfriend? And then later, the final stage, commitment. Are you psychologically ready to settle down? And not everyone is psychologically ready to settle down, because people need to explore. People need to test things out. They need to get to know their sexuality. And so not everyone is going to be able to settle down, kind of like box himself into a domestication, which is what marriage, what monogamy is. Not everyone is capable of domestication, that commitment. And so you want to ask yourself if you're able to do that, and you want to ask, or you want to think about the people that you're meeting, are they capable of commitment? And so holy shit, all these 6 stages, a lot of stuff going on. And the 3 major things, trust, connection, and readiness, they are not easy stages. They are psychological, emotional. All kinds of things are going to play part in this. Your psychology of growing up, your parents, your past relationships, your dramas, your breakups, all the hurt, all the pain, all of that will come to the surface. And my question to you, can you succeed in all of this by yourself when you're meeting other people, and then the 2 of you making it work in the current state of the social space out there with grinders, with the hookup culture? Can you do this? Of course you can't. Nobody can, because there's so much going on at each of these stages that you actually have to be part of some kind of community, some kind of container, some kind of boundary, some kind of something, some box, somewhere, something, so that there is no escape, so that you don't walk away from each other, so that there's certain kind of accountability to the process. So that's why all of this in the history of humanity typically would have been taken care of by the communities where people met. All the communities and all the events, all the weekly, Sunday, post-church lunches and events, all of that was taken care of by the people that were running those events, that were supporting and facilitating everyone's relationships. It used to flow really easily, but now all of that is gone. It's also helpful to say that a lot of that was never really developed in the gay world. So whatever was there, all of that is gone. And so for 2 human beings that have complexities in their minds, in their dramas, in their psychology, for them to together go through these stages and succeed, I think this is a mathematical impossibility. There are too many variables. It's too complicated. There are too many internal states of mind that will come in and sabotage. I remember one time I had a fight with someone I loved, and I remember I could not get myself to reach the higher ground. And I realized at that moment that if I cannot reach a higher ground and I teach this material, then oh my gosh, then nobody's going to have relationships anymore. Because to reach that higher ground, it takes so much that spiritual energy that we just don't have it. And if there's no community that facilitates the process, we are just so empty and deprived of all that good stuff, nobody can go to the higher ground and step in and fix what needs to be fixed. And across all these stages here, there will be all kinds of problems happening, all kinds of miscommunications. Who's going to fix all of that? Who's going to help you every step of the way? There'll probably be like 75 things that will go wrong. Who's going to be there to support you so that you don't have to let something silly destroy something that you've worked on for months? And that might happen in the trust stage or in the connection stage. So it's important that you look at relationships from this perspective to realize that this is not a game. It's very complicated. In fact, this is what I say to everyone. This is the most complicated project you will ever undertake in your whole life. And this hopefully shows you that this intricacy of relationships will be happening across these different stages, and you have to be protected from yourself and from the other person's psychological drama, and the protection will only come from a community where you're guided, supported by other people, where it's much more laid back, more relaxed, because you know you're protected, you know the principles, you know the protocols for how to gently go from the readiness stage to meet the people, connect with them, get to know them, date them, develop trust, and then establish commitment. We have all of that pre-scripted, pre-designed for all of you inside Big Gay Family Social Program, so that It's smooth sailing every single step of the way. We take away all of the sexual agendas. We take away all of the things that usually create dramas and traumas and hurt and pain. And now something that you may have lucked out to happen once in a decade, now this is happening once every 3 months. We have accelerated for you something that people usually luck out. And that's why there are all these movies about serendipity, serendipity of love. Why do they say it like that? Because by some chance of some spontaneous probability mathematical equation, human beings came together, one in a gazillion, one in a million, and somehow they worked it out. But it's like 1 in a million. And that was this serendipitous moment once in a decade. But you don't want to live with that kind of luck. You want to increase your luck. You want to speed things up. You want to accelerate everything. And so inside Big Gay Family, we have this acceleration so that with every person that you meet inside the program, you go through these stages from A to Z, and you're succeeding instead of failing in the process of creating the commitment. So imagine the possibilities. Imagine the amount of new friendships and relationships you're going to have. So I'm inviting you, my friends, to join us here at the Big Gay Family Social Program. Don't wait, because with this process, you're going to build the best relationships of your life, and the longer you wait, then the less time you're going to have to enjoy them. Okay, I think that's just simple logic. So thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to sharing with you more of these tutorials in the future. For those of you who are not part of the Big Gay Family Social Program, visit the website biggayfamily.com. And those of you who are new to my videos and my channel, please subscribe. And if you want more videos like these, please visit my blog at paulangelo.com. And I'm super excited to share with you all the wisdom so that we can come together once and for all and have all the love and all the goodness we've been looking for. Okay, my friends, signing off. I'll talk to you soon. What does it mean to be gay? Where do we come from? Why now? What's our purpose? What's our future? What is our function? How do we activate our power?